Now you just can't leave.
All right, welcome back to the Reverse Mush podcast presented by the Bookie's Basement. Harry Mack here, as always, with a very special guest this week, PFL Challenger Series contender Brahyan Zurcher. Brahyan, how you feeling?
How we doing, man? Happy. Thank you for having me and for your space and your time.
Of
Feeling
course,
good,
brother.
feeling happy, excited. Can't wait for Friday.
Love to see it, and my pleasure. I appreciate your time first and foremost, always. But yes, so you're an undefeated prospect now at 4-0. You've got 2 fights under your belt under the PFL umbrella, one in Challenger Series, one a showcase bout during last year's playoffs. So I guess just to start there, do you kind of feel like you have a leg up on your competitors this Friday at the Challenger Series just by virtue of having fought and dealt with the PFL before?
100%. I'm very familiar with the feeling. I stepped into the cage before, and I fought already on some of the biggest platforms already. Fighting for PFL twice gave me a lot of experience and confidence. So I feel like already I'm like maybe one, two, three steps ahead of him. That's gonna give me a little advantage.
There you go. And just going off of that, what was it like to fight in Madison Square Garden on a nationally televised card on ESPN in your fourth pro fight?
Oh my God, it was crazy. Like if you told me maybe 2, 3 years ago that my fourth professional fight was gonna be at the Madison Square Garden, I would have laughed. I would have been like, man, you're crazy. I don't think that quick is gonna happen. I knew it was gonna happen at some point. I was gonna be there at the biggest stages in the world, but I didn't expect it to happen this soon. So that gave me even a lot more confidence and motivation. That shows me that everything that we've been doing is nothing but the right thing.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I remember I was lucky enough to be there as media covering the event. I remember your
Oh,
family
nice.
going absolutely nuts in the crowd. I remember they had a very good shot of your mom at one point. So what was it like to just be able to share that moment with your family, with your friends, with whoever came out to support you?
It's a once in a lifetime experience. That's gonna be a moment that my family, my friends, fans, and I are always gonna remember. That's gonna stay in the books, and people that my kids and everybody is gonna be a moment that we always gonna remember. It's probably until today probably the biggest moment in my fighting career, and I always remember those days. And when I'm feeling down or when I don't feel like training, I just think about those moments and makes me go do whatever I need to do, because bigger, if that happened already, bigger things are coming in the future, and that gets me very excited.
Absolutely, I think that's a great way to look at it. You've already made it further than a lot of people will make it in their entire career at this point. So it's only up from here, only more to build on.
Yeah, that's a good way to see it. Yeah.
And so, we mentioned you had fought on the Challenger Series last year, the first iteration of PFL's Challenger Series. One of a hard fought decision, showed a little bit of everything: some striking, some grappling, some wrestling, whatever you want to call it. Were you surprised that you didn't get a contract after that fight?
Honestly, well, like you said, yeah, I was very happy with that performance. I didn't expect Scotty Stockman to be that good and to be that tough. He came out mashing in the first round, and he got me a little bit by surprise. It was a good performance, but no, I wasn't surprised that I didn't get a contract. What can you expect? The company, if you look at the featherweight division, you have all these killers that have over 18, 20, 25, 28 fights. It wouldn't be the best thing to have a guy that only has two, three professional fights competing with those guys. Me myself, I'm pretty confident on my skill set, and I know I can compete with those guys. And if you tell me you want to fight with those guys, and if you beat them, you're gonna get $1 million and a world title. Of course, I'm there.
It's a
Sign
good
me up. Where's
motivator.
the paper? Yeah, where's the paper? But seeing it from uh, the promoting side, I mean, that wouldn't be the right thing to do. But they saw a lot of potential in me. They see how professional I am, so that's why they got me back to fight to the Madison Square Garden. I had another beautiful performance, even though I didn't get the finish. It was a good performance. and
Absolutely.
so step by step, everything that I have, I earn it. I've been working for this, and now being in this position, headlining this Friday, is just a little. It shows how much I work and how much the company believes in me.
Absolutely. Listen, they wouldn't keep bringing you back if they didn't see something there, right?
Yeah, 100%.
And so, if you could just what would you say the biggest differences are? I mean, obviously PFL Challenger Series is done kind of on the studio lot at Universal in Orlando. There's a limited crowd, kind of very intimate, friends and family, kind of similar to the UFC Apex. But what was the difference between that experience and then fighting in front of thousands of fans at Madison Square Garden?
Well, honestly, my first Challenger Series fight, there was no crowd at all. It was
Oh
just
wow,
the corners. Yeah, it was just the corners. So this next fight, this Friday, there's gonna be some crowd. I believe over 120 people.
got it.
Um, but going into that fight in the Challenger Series, so my professional career started in 2021, and that was when all the promotions were having their fights in little warehouses. So my first two professional fights were like that. I was used to fighting without the crowd. Honestly, I like it because now fighting over here in the States, I feel like, don't tell my opponents, but I feel like I have a little bit of advantage because I speak English and my corner speaks Spanish. So I can hear everything that they talk to them, and they cannot understand what my corner is talking to me. And so going from there to no crowd to with hundreds of people, thousands maybe over here at the Madison Square Garden, it was a little. It got me a little bit off guard in the first round. It got a little bit to me, and of course the name Madison Square Garden, like, man, it doesn't get any bigger than that. It
Right.
hit
You
me a
think of
little
the
bit, but
history and
like
the
the second,
fights.
yeah, the history, all the names, the best fighters fought there, and all the history that they hold over there. It got a little bit to me in the first round, but second round I was able to like talk to myself and be like, it's just another fight. Enjoy the moment and keep doing your thing. And in my amateur fighting career, I was exposed to big crowds like that. I had the opportunity to fight for Tough Enough, of course, one of the biggest organizations in amateur fights in the world. So one time I fought at the UNLV Center in Las Vegas at
Mhm.
Thomas and Mack, and so I believe there was a crowd over like 17,000 people.
Man.
So yeah, I'm familiar to that. Just Madison Square Garden hit me a little bit different, but nothing too crazy. I mean, at the end of the day, we step into the cage and it's just him and I. Doesn't make a big difference.
Yeah, there you go. You can get all the coaching and advice and everything else you want, but at the end of the day, there's two guys locked in that smart cage.
Yes, sir.
And so, outside of fighting, outside of training, what does Brahyan Zurcher do for fun? What does an average weekend look like for you? Or maybe there's not 2 days going on. You're not in fight camp.
Yeah. Well, really, I'm very focused on my goal. Everything that I do, I don't wanna get out of the line too much. When right after fights, I like to go to Mexico and chill with my family, have some drinks, eat some good food over there. But that's in Mexico. When I'm in Vegas, I'm usually training Monday through Saturday. I like going out with my family, with my mom. We go have dinner, maybe go to the bar sometimes with the friends, have 2 3 beers, or most likely you'll find me doing Uber at nights in Las Vegas. That's what I usually do when I'm not in camp. I'm always training, and at night trying to make some a little bit of extra money, save it so I can invest on myself when I'm in camp. So I don't have to worry about anything else, just to buy my food and pay rent and buy my gas. That's usually what I do. I like hiking. I like watching TV. I'm always watching the fights on Saturday. Sunday I like to chill. couple of years ago, I party a lot. Before coming to the States, I party a lot in Mexico since a kid. So it's not
Got that
really
out of the
like,
system early.
yeah, I was lucky enough that I got that out of the way. And so, yeah, that's pretty much all I do.
Hey, there you go. Nothing wrong with being an easygoing, simple guy. And you know what? Maybe one day someone's going to have a story about how, a PFL world champion drove their Uber way back in the day.
Oh, most definitely. That always comes. That topic always comes. They see my ears, and
That's a giveaway.
yeah, most of the people right now they're very familiar with mixed martial arts and stuff, and so they
Right. It's
see my
in
ears,
Vegas.
and it's very easy to identify a fighter. And they always ask me, "Hey, do you do any type of martial arts?" Hey, and that's the catch, to get the tip. That's how I
Ah,
get my
yeah, there
tip.
you go.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of times that people recognize me. Hey, is that you, the guy that fought at Madison Square Garden, or is that you, the
Wow.
one that fights for PFL? So it's
What is
always
that
fun.
experience like? Just being recognized out in the wild for your fight career, your fight accolades.
Honestly, it's crazy, because I'm barely starting to get used to this type of lifestyle. It's but I don't even know how to describe it. Like, it makes me happy. I never thought, coming from where I'm from a little town in Mexico, I never thought things like this would happen to me. But I just try to keep my feet on the floor and stay focused and just be nice and kind to everybody. And in the Uber ride, just give them a good experience and try to make some fans.
There you go. There you go. Hey, it's all about networking, marketing yourself, social media, all that stuff's important
You
these
know
days,
it.
man.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. All right. So let's say Friday night, Fubo TV, PFL Challenger Series, everything goes according to plan. You walk away with a PFL contract. You get into that tournament this year, you win that $1 million. What's the first purchase?
First purchase. First thing I'm doing for sure, it's I'm gonna finish paying my mom's house. She's almost done with it. We have a really nice house in Las Vegas. So that's gonna be a couple of $1,000. And then with that money I'm buying my first house too.
Hell yeah. Love to see it.
Yeah.
Well, Brian, you
Yeah.
have
Paying
been
my house, buying my first house, go on a little vacation, and yeah, keep saving money and keep investing on myself, on my coaches, get my training right, and keep making more money and winning fights.
there you go. There's way worse plans to have. But so Brian, you have been beyond generous with your time. I don't want to take up too much of it. Is there anything you want to plug before we let you go here?
Nothing, brother. I just wanna tell the people to tune in this Friday, watch my PFL Challenger Series main event. They can expect fireworks. It's gonna be a great fight from my side. I'm always here to, like, I always keep in mind that what we do is entertain people. So I like to go out there and give show to the people. Also, big shout out to all my friends and family, coaches and teammates from Las Vegas, at Cobrinha Jiu Jitsu, Extreme Couture, uh, and my people in Mexico from Bahía de Banderas, Puerto Vallarta, Jarretaderas. Everybody, big shout out to them, and thank you for sticking with me, and expect big things in the near future.
Hell yeah, that's absolutely right. And where can people find you on social media?
On Instagram and Facebook, I'm very active. Brahyan Zurcher, Brahyan, Brahyan Zurcher with the Z.
Well, there you go, straight from the horse's mouth. Brian, thank you so much for joining us. Best of skill this Friday. PFL Challenger Series, Fubo TV, 9 o'clock Eastern. Appreciate your time, brother.
My brother, thank you so much for your time and for giving us the platform and the exposure.